The email that destroyed my future accidentally exposed something my university never wanted anyone to see. Part 2. That's not a reason. I know. Call them. I did. And they said the decision is final. My mom went quiet. Then she said something I didn't expect. Find out why. What? Find out why. Mom, they already said no. No. They said no. They didn't tell you why. At the time, I thought she was just angry. I didn't realize that sentence would eventually lead me into a fight with my own university. The next day, I went back to the financial aid office. This time, I wasn't asking for help. I was asking questions. The advisor who helped me before recognized me immediately. You got the decision? I nodded. Can I ask you something? Sure. Have scholarship funds been reduced this year? Her face changed slightly. Barely. But I noticed. Why do you ask? Because my letter says it's about institutional funding priorities. She looked down. I'm not sure. You're not sure, or you can't tell me? She didn't answer. That was my answer. Before I left, she quietly said something. Almost like she didn't mean to. Don't assume the first explanation you're given is the whole story. I stopped walking. What does that mean? She immediately looked nervous. I didn't say anything, but she had, and now I couldn't ignore it. That night, I started looking through everything I could find publicly. University budget reports, board meeting documents, scholarship announcements, financial statements. At first, I found nothing. Everything looked normal. Too normal. Then I noticed something. 3 months before my scholarship was revoked, the university had announced a massive budget shortfall. Millions of dollars. They used it to explain hiring freezes, program cuts, and reduced student services. But when I looked closer, something didn't add up. The university was cutting student funding. But at the same time, they had approved several new administrative expenses, new consulting contracts, a campus renovation project, a marketing campaign. None of that proved anything. I knew that. A university spending money differently wasn't automatically fraud. But it made me wonder something. If they were cutting scholarships because of money problems, why were scholarships one of the first things being cut? I kept digging. And 3 days later, I found something that changed the entire situation. A document that wasn't supposed to be public. A spreadsheet accidentally uploaded to a university website. And buried inside it was a line that made me stop breathing. Because my scholarship wasn't listed as a funding cut. It was listed under a completely different category. Risk management. And next to my name was a note. Monitor closely. Student has requested detailed financial explanation. At first, I thought I was misunderstanding it. Then I saw the date. The note was added 2 days before my scholarship was revoked. Before they even sent the email. And suddenly, I had a terrifying question. Why was my university watching me before they took away my scholarship? I wish I could say I immediately knew what was happening. I didn't. Honestly, my first reaction was that I was probably overthinking it. Because when something terrible happens, your brain starts trying to connect dots that might not actually connect. I stared at that spreadsheet for probably 20 minutes. The line was right there. My name, my student ID, the scholarship amount, and that note. Monitor closely. The student has requested a detailed financial explanation. I took screenshots immediately. Then I closed the page. Then I opened it again. Then checked the URL. Then saved the entire file. I wasn't trying to become some investigator. I wasn't trying to expose anyone. That I just wanted to understand why I was losing the thing that allowed me to stay in school. But now I had proof that my appeal wasn't just sitting in some random pile. Someone had specifically flagged me. The next morning, I showed Jake. He looked at the screenshot. Then looked at me. Then looked back at the screenshot. Wait. What? This was before they revoked it. Yeah. He leaned back. That's not normal. I know. Did you tell them you found this? No. Good. Why? Because if someone already marked you as a problem for asking questions, maybe don't immediately tell them you found their notes. I hated that he was right. The scary thing was, I didn't feel like I was fighting some giant corporation. I was fighting an institution I had trusted. A place that advertised itself as a community. A place professors told us cared about students. A place my parents were proud I attended. I decided to talk to one of my professors. Not because I thought he could fix it. I just needed someone older who understood how the university worked. I went to office hours for Professor Matthews, who taught one of my economics classes. He had always been the kind of professor who stayed after class to answer questions. When I explained what happened, he looked genuinely surprised. They revoked your scholarship? Yeah. Why? That's the problem. Nobody will tell me. I showed him the spreadsheet. His expression changed. Not dramatically, but enough. Where did you get this? It was accidentally posted online. He looked at it carefully. Then he closed the laptop. You should be careful. I immediately felt my stomach drop. Careful how? He sighed. I'm not saying you did anything wrong. Then what are you saying? I'm saying universities are complicated places. There are people who make decisions you never see. That doesn't answer my question. No, he paused. But it's honest. I hated that answer. Because everyone kept giving me warnings instead of answers. A few days later, something even stranger happened. I received an email from someone I didn't know. No subject. No introduction. Just one sentence. Stop looking into the scholarship records. You don't know what you're getting involved in. My first thought was that it was fake. A prank. Someone is messing with me. But then I noticed something. The sender was a university email address, not a student, a staff account. I immediately took screenshots. I forwarded it to Jake. His response came instantly. Absolutely not. What? Do not reply. I wasn't going to. Do not tell anyone you got this yet. Why? Because whoever sent that knows you're looking. That was the first moment I genuinely felt scared. Part 3 is now posted.